Welcome to MPUNGWE-PUNGWE YouTube channel. Subscribe for you to enjoy more of our videos anytime we upload.
Greetings, good people. Greetings. Yeah, so today has been a very big day. Many things have happened, and in South Africa, this is what has happened to Julius Malema. You know, he got a 5-year jail sentence, but a few minutes later he appealed and then he was granted a bail. But when he just left the court, when he went outside, this is what he said. He has called the magistrate a racist. Watch this one.
And we responded. You know, if you don't come to court, you get arrested. If you come to court, they say you are disturbing court. Therefore, you must go to prison for disturbing court. So we don't know what to do anymore. But that was not the law. That was racism speaking. Magistrate Olivier is a racist of note. And she must know that in her sleep, that she's a racist and she's possibly a member of AfriForum. That's why when you mention AfriForum, she cannot hide her emotions. Yesterday, when SC Mugaitobi mentioned AfriForum, she jumped. But it was not Mugaitobi who was mentioning AfriForum. It was the state which wrote in its heads of argument about AfriForum. When he was responding what the state wrote, he said, she said, don't bring AfriForum. And Mugai Toby said, I'm not bringing AfriForum. The state wrote AfriForum in their document, and I'm responding to what they said. She said, let me read. By the way, she got those heads of arguments 2 months ago. She was not aware that by saying she wants to read inside court, she was confirming that she did not read the heads of argument. She just entered court without knowing what is contained in the heads, in the arguments that the lawyers were putting before the court. So we are tried by a magistrate who doesn't read, who read when you appear in front of her. Otherwise, when you are not there, she doesn't read the heads of arguments. If you read heads of arguments and someone says AfriForum, you'll automatically know that I saw AfriForum somewhere in these documents. And you can't ask the question, where is that AfriForum? What are you talking about? We're tried by a magistrate who doesn't read, who uses emotions, who speaks politics, who says we are stopping people who are coming to collect maintenance. We are stopping grannies who want to come to court. But in reality, this court was never closed. The public continued to use this court. So she doesn't have any reason, none whatsoever. She goes around fundraising reasons why we must go to prison. They took a firearm which they say I used. She was not aware when it was mentioned in court that the firearm has been handed over back to the owner. She appeared shocked. But the witness who was testifying for me wrote about the firearm being taken away. She was not aware. You know why? She doesn't read. She doesn't know what is contained in the documents that are before her. So we are dealing with someone who doesn't apply the law. The law, whether you hate someone or not, you have to answer the question, what does the law say on this matter? She will not answer that question because she can't read heads of arguments. 21 pages. And those 21 pages are quoting the judgments which were written before about matters that are similar to this one. How can she read all of those judgments if she can't read 21 pages? So it's clear that even the law that we are referring to, she can't refer to it because her and reading are not friends. They are not the same WhatsApp group. She's the most incompetent magistrate who read a judgment for 3 days. It is never done. She does so because we suspect she doesn't write her own judgments. They ask a simple thing, leave to appeal. It's a simple matter. You still ask for 30 minutes to grant a leave to appeal or not. You are not asking for 30 minutes. You are still going to ask your masters, do I grant the leave to appeal or not? So you are dealing with an invisible hand that is controlling the proceedings in that particular court. So we must make sure that she gets reported to the Magistracy Council Commission, because the prosecutor knew about the judgment before she could read the judgment. A day before, she told accused number 2, you must go and fetch your gun tomorrow. And the accused number 2 said, you can only fetch a gun if you are not found guilty. How did the prosecutor know that accused number 2 is not going to be found guilty, to an extent that he tells him to go and fetch a firearm? That's the first misconduct the prosecutor committed. The second one, which the Eastern Cape, East London sub-region must go and open a case of perjury. He lies in court yesterday. To lie to court is a criminal offense. He says, we gave the gun to accused number 2 after he was acquitted. When you said not guilty, that's when we gave accused number 2 the gun. But he forgets that when you collect a weapon or item that was used as evidence, when you collect it back, you must sign for it. There must be a date, there must be a time. So if it's 10 o'clock, they'll write 10 o'clock, they'll write a date. You look at the time of collection and then look at the time of judgment that he collected before the judgment was passed. That is the second misconduct of a prosecutor. But a prosecutor has got no duty to hand over the item which was used in court without a judgment of a judge. He gave himself a power he doesn't have. He took the evidence before the court and handed it over to accused number 2 without a judge saying, you can now return this item back to the owner, or you must give it to the state to destroy it. So he thought he's got the power he doesn't have. The only thing we need to do is to make sure that this prosecutor, who is arrogant and suffers from a short man syndrome, is taught a lesson. And we can only teach him a lesson by sitting on his neck and making sure that he is prosecuted and is arrested for lying to court and is disciplined at work for exercising the powers he doesn't have. And this magistrate must be reported to the commission. Why? How did the prosecutor know about the judgment? Because you are the only one who knows the judgment. Only you, the magistrate, could have told the prosecutor about the judgment. And to tell the prosecutor about the judgment outside the representatives of the accused, it's wrong. It's not allowed in law. If there is anything you want to communicate to the prosecutor, you must call the defense to come and you communicate in front of a defense. So clearly, you've got a special relationship with the prosecutor as a magistrate, and that is a misconduct on its own.
So to be honest, frankly speaking, Julius Malema is one of the greatest people in Africa, because he doesn't fear anyone. He's fearless, and he's always on point. He's always on point. As you have seen yourself, this guy is very strong and doesn't fear anyone at all. Anyone. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and leave your comments so that we should be encouraged. Bye bye. Yeah.
Welcome to MPUNGWE-PUNGWE YouTube channel. Subscribe for you to enjoy more of our videos anytime we upload.